She's a leading journalist and author based in Bengaluru.
Namaskar to all. Today I'll be speaking about a swift, strategic and high-precision military operation named Operation Sindoor and will uncover the details of this significant operation. On the 22nd of April 2025, tragedy struck in Pahalgaon, Jammu and Kashmir. A ruthless and cowardly terrorist attack took the lives of 26 innocent civilians, including women, children and tourists. This attack wasn't just an assault on our soil. It was an attack on our spirit, unity and humanity. On April 23rd, in response to this horrific attack, the Government of India took decisive steps. The Indus Water Treaty was suspended, citing national security concerns and Pakistan's continued support for state-sponsored terrorism. Visa privileges for Pakistani nationals were revoked and the Atari border checkpost was closed. Pakistan, in response, suspended the Simla Agreement, closed its airspace to Indian flights and halted trade through the Wagah border. As you all are aware, on May 7th, the Indian Armed Forces launched a high-precision military operation named Operation Sindoor. Leveraging cutting-edge AI, the mission reconstructed and coordinated a covert 100-hour operation across 9 cross-border camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir that eliminated over 100 terrorists, including operation against terrorist groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba. Sindoor, the sacred mark worn by Indian women, signifies protection and commitment. By choosing this name, India sent a clear message, an unyielding pledge to defend every citizen, every child, every family. From April 25th to May 6th, tension escalated. Ceasefire violations and cross-border shelling intensified. Both sides exchanged heavy fire across multiple sectors in Jammu and Kashmir. In silence, we prepared. Each terror base was marked. Every strike route was calculated. A strategic masterstroke followed. On the night of May 6th, under that cover, Rafale jets took to the skies. At 1 a.m. on May 7th, India struck 9 terror targets in a synchronized way. India deployed a diverse arsenal of aircraft, air-to-surface missiles, and advanced air defense systems to strike a decisive blow against the Pakistan Air Force. Nearly every strike was backed by high-resolution patrol and probe from unmanned aerial vehicles and satellite surveillance. The integrated air defense system of India played a crucial role in this operation, successfully neutralizing every aerial attack launched by Pakistan. Early warning with short-range radars, state-of-the-art anti-aircraft guns, Rafale jets, equipped with Scalp cruise missiles and Hammer laser-guided bombs, led the offensive. This powerful combination enabled deep penetration strikes with pinpoint accuracy. Without crossing the border, Rafales delivered lethal blows. Kamikaze drones, developed with Israel aid, destroyed launch pads on both sides of the Pir Panjal. The unmanned aerial vehicles streamed live footage back to command. Within minutes, the terror infrastructure was reduced to ashes. Meanwhile, at Air Headquarters in Delhi, the mission was monitored second by second by India's top military leadership as the jets sliced through the skies in stealth mode. There were no boots on the ground, no civilian casualties, every objective met. On May 7th and 8th, when Pakistan attempted to retaliate with over 400 drones and missiles aiming at Indian cities, including the Golden Temple and other sacred sites in India, we stood ready. The S-400 missile defense system, Barak 8 and Akash systems protected our skies. The deadly BrahMos missile launched deep into Pakistani territory, striking military installations in Lahore, Sialkot, Karachi, and key air bases in Sargodha and Jacobabad, closely tied to Pakistan's nuclear infrastructure. This war has changed how military engagements are fought. It has been shown that in today's battlefield, strategies are digital, decisions are swift, and missions are high-tech. Our Prime Minister had the foresight, I would say, from acquiring Rafale fighters and Scalp missiles from France and England to procuring Heron Mk2 UAVs and Herop drones from Israel, S-400s from Russia, AH-64 Apache and AGM-114 Hellfires from the US. I must say India has transformed its defense arsenal. Many of these were acquired through emergency purchases, and now many are produced domestically. Combined with long-range made-in-India drones, they took a heavy toll on the 9 terror targets. Prime Minister Modi acted with calculated precision. On May 6th, while a civil alert drill was conducted across Indian cities, training citizens to respond calmly and wisely to emergency sirens, the real strike was already underway. Operation Sindoor is no longer just an India-Pakistan episode, it is now a global situation in modern warfare. A turning point in how wars are fought, where technological supremacy, real-time intelligence and strategic information dominance have redefined the very nature of military confrontation. Traditional costly air combat has given way to intelligent autonomous systems. The drone warfare was the most revolutionary shift of this conflict. The use of unmanned aerial vehicles marks a bold break from outdated doctrines centered on expensive manned fighter jets. Instead, asymmetric, low-cost, high-impact technologies now dominate the battlefield. Operation Sindoor proved that victory no longer depends on bulky platforms, but on swarms of expendable, smart and lethal systems that overwhelm and neutralize the enemy with precision. This shift didn't happen overnight. It was made possible by a strategic overhaul of India's defense posture under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a deliberate pivot from conventional tactics to non-contact warfare. Non-contact warfare is a major consideration of the Indian Army this time. Here war is not about boots and blood alone, but about precision, deterrence and remote lethality. Unlike the earlier Uri and Balakot operations that followed traditional models, Operation Sindoor was built on next-generation warfare. Long-range missiles, AI-integrated smart weapons, unmanned platforms, satellite surveillance and robotic systems, all designed to deliver remote, targeted destruction with surgical speed. Operation Sindoor was possible due to this strategic defense transformation. On May 9th, the IMF approved $1 billion funding to Pakistan. India responded by alleging misuse of multilateral funding to support terrorism. Following established protocols, I would like to mention here that India remained focused solely on combating terrorism and responding to terror attacks without causing harm to civilians in Pakistan or Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In a strategic and precision operation, India successfully destroyed a critical Pakistani radar airbase. This strike significantly impaired Pakistan's aerial capabilities, leading to substantial losses in military infrastructure and weaponry. Faced with mounting setbacks, Pakistan sought diplomatic support from Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States. However, these nations redirected Pakistan back to India, urging it to engage in direct dialogue. At the same time, international figures such as Vance and Ruberu, along with other countries, appealed to India. Acknowledging that India had effectively achieved its strategic objectives, they recommended that India agree to a ceasefire in the interest of regional peace and stability. And hence, on May 10th, both nations agreed to pause military operations, a verbal ceasefire. An understanding on stoppage of firing and military actions on all settings, with land, air and sea. Yet, on the night of May 10th, explosions rocked Srinagar. On May 12th, our Prime Minister addressed the nation. He reminded the world that India has only paused military operations and will not tolerate nuclear blackmail. PM Modi's speech clearly promised to set new benchmarks in bilateral relations. The PM stated firmly that neither the lure of trade nor the sentimentalism of divided families will restrain India. He made it clear that India will retaliate against any future terror strike and it will regard it as a declaration of war and pursue the terror outfits inside Pakistan. There are some key takeaways that I would like to mention that Pakistan, despite initiating the conflict, following India's counter-terror operation, failed to breach India's air defense system with its missile strikes. Talks with Pakistan will only concern Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It became clear that terror and talk, trade and talk cannot go together. The Indus Water Treaty will remain suspended until Pakistan gives up terror, and India's no first use nuclear doctrine may be reviewed. Operation Sindoor also symbolically honors the role of women in the nation's defense, especially as women officers like Colonel Sofia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh played key roles in this operation. India has emerged as a superpower, the fourth largest economy in the world, and the world watched. As Pakistan's military leaders attended the funerals of global terrorists, they themselves revealed to the world the complicated link between their army and terror networks. India has made it clear that we can carry out pinpointed strikes anywhere in Pakistan anytime. What we did in Operation Sindoor, I must say, was just a fraction of our capability. The countries that stood in support of Pakistan today are China and Turkey. Turkey's condemnation of our actions and the deployment of Turkish drones have led to widespread calls among Indians to boycott Turkey. According to a Bloomberg report citing the Indian Ministry of Defense affiliated think tank, the Center for Joint Warfare Studies, China has not only extended military assistance to Pakistan but has also provided critical satellite support. Alarmingly, the report reveals that China has conducted espionage operations inside India on behalf of Pakistan, raising serious questions about China's actions and intensifying concerns over its growing strategic alignment with Pakistan. In a significant strategic shift, Beijing has fast-tracked a major hydropower project in Pakistan, reinforcing its deepening role in South Asia's water diplomacy. This development comes in the wake of India's suspension of the decades-old Indus Water Treaty, a landmark agreement that governed water sharing between India and Pakistan since 1960. China's move is widely interpreted as a calculated step to bolster Pakistan's water security amid rising regional tensions and to expand its geopolitical influence through critical infrastructure. Analysts see this as a part of broader China-Pakistan alignment aimed at counterbalancing India's strategic decision and asserting dominance in the region's hydropolitics. In the times ahead, India must remain vigilant, as China and Pakistan could jointly undertake coordinated strategic moves against the country. But beyond the retaliation, beyond the geopolitics, lies a deeper transformation. India has become a rule setter in the region. Due to Pakistan's policies, I believe that voices of dissent are rising in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In contrast, after the abrogation of Article 370, India's Jammu and Kashmir has witnessed significant growth in investment and a boom in tourism, with more than 2 crore tourists visiting the region in the past 2 years. In a significant diplomatic step, Indian delegations comprising representatives from various political parties are traveling to different countries, intent to engage with international partners to present India's response to the April 22nd Pahalgam attack, highlight its broader efforts in combating cross-border terrorism and to expose the truth about Pakistan's continued policy of supporting terrorism. India has avenged the Pahalgam genocide. India has demonstrated its unmatched strength, and India has declared, never again will terror go unanswered. Operation Sindoor reset our engagement with Pakistan in war and in peace. Jai Hind.
Dear listeners, you just listened to a presentation by Dr. Anubha Jain on the topic Operation Sindoor and the Rise of Non-Contact Combat. This program was brought to you by Akashvani, Bengaluru.